Wrestling fans, what's going on, man? It's Black Couch Booking here with a brand new video. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. I promise you will not be disappointed. And if you're old to the channel, Couch Crew, you already know the vibes, man. Hope you guys are having a great day today. Please follow me on Instagram at Real Black Couch Booking, and please join my Discord. Links in the description down below. And the Patreon will be relaunching on June 1st. So I hope you guys are ready for some exclusive, uncensored, unfiltered wrestling content. But anyway, man. I'm here responding to one of my latest videos where I said that WWE should stop signing free agents and sending them right to NXT because they're basically halting the development of the homegrown NXT talent. And that was my opinion. Some people, clap back at me. Some people agreed. Some people were indifferent, and I was also indifferent. I mean, Stephanie Valkyrie NXT has been great. Ricky Saints on NXT has been great. Ethan Page on NXT has been great. However, there's still talent on NXT that may never fully develop because they don't know what it's like to be a champion. They don't know what it's like to be in the spotlight, and they have to keep, taking the back seat to outside talent coming to NXT, where the outside talent could have just straight up went to the main roster, which is why we're here today. I will be giving the solution to save the main roster. I will be putting the main rosters together, and we're going to be sending some people back to NXT because NXT, y'all got to pick, man. When y'all want to win the argument, y'all say NXT is officially a third brand on its own and it's not a development brand. But then on the opposite end, you'll say it's a development brand when you don't want to just admit how not good the person that you like is. Oh, they're just in development. That's why. Well, we got to pick one, guys. So if NXT is his third brand, whoever I put to NXT, don't look at it as a demotion. But if it is a development brand, look at it as whoever I pick, they're going to help develop the guys and gals there right now. So we got to pick. So I'm ready to get right into it. Let's get it. Let's go. I have the main roster here. Only have a few people from NXT that I'm gonna call up to the main roster. And let me start off by saying I will not be calling up Obafemi, even though I think he is ready for the main roster. I want him to have an amazing run as the NXT champion, and then as soon as he loses that title, he's ready for the main roster. But he will not be included in this. But he would work on Raw or SmackDown, preferably Raw, in my opinion. So let's get this out the way now. Where is she? Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace should have debuted on the main roster from the jump. She was the TNA Knockouts champion, multi-time TNA Women's champion. She has the experience. She has the physique. You know what I'm saying? People know who Jordan Grace is. She got crazy pops at the Royal Rumbles. She does not need to be in NXT. She don't need to develop. She don't need to learn nothing. Being an NXT champion does not help Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace could have went straight to SmackDown. She could have went after the Women's United States Championship. She could have a banger feud with Jade Cargill before Jade does anything with Charlotte. There's so many different things she could have done with Jordan Grace. So I think Jordan Grace should be on SmackDown. And I love Zelina Vega. Y'all know Zelina Vega is my queen. But what if Jordan Grace were to come up as a surprise and just beat Zelina Vega for the United States Championship? That would not be a bad way to go out on your square. I would not be upset with that at all. Have Jordan Grace bring hella prestige to the United States Championship, and then you know what I'm saying, Zelina Vega get a rematch and she actually get offense in the rematch and still lose. That would not be bad at all, right? Okay, so that's one. Let's do another call up. Lash Legend. I am starting to see an issue with the Raw women's mid card and the SmackDown women's mid card. It's not that they don't have people that are contenders, it's just that they keep using the same people. For example, Zelina Vega is still doing stuff with Chelsea Green. You beat Chelsea Green. Let's move on. Chelsea Green and Mia Yim had a long-standing feud, mad matches, even before they clashed for the United States Championship. There are other women who should be in feuds with Zelina Vega and Lyra Valkyria, respectfully, for the titles. Luckily, we got something new with Becky. Bailey got a shot. You know what I'm saying? Raw is doing a better job, in my opinion, of mixing it up and giving different looks, but both are still in a very similar position. Someone like a Lash Legend, I don't see them making her the women's champion in NXT or the women's North American champion in NXT because there's so many other people in line, and you have the Jordan Graces, that's an outsider. You got the Lola Vice, who's going to be after Jordan Grace. Whether Jordan Grace wins or loses, Lola Vice says she's next and she's gonna be next. So then Last Legend still gotta wait in line. Why not have her go to Raw? She could come in a dominating fashion, even if she loses to Lyra Valkyria. Make it her debut. She debuts against Lyra Valkyria for the championship. It has an amazing showing. Lyra gets a surprise roll up, the most dangerous move in wrestling, and then you still establish Last Legend as, yep, this is your division. You're in the mid card, and she's gonna get another opportunity for the mid card. I just don't think her beating up on Izzy Dame or whoever she's going to beat up on in NXT is worth it anymore without Jakara Jackson being there. All right. Speaking of champions, Stephanie Valkyrie dropped that belt. I'm getting a couple of women out the way for sure. Drop that belt to Jordan Grace. Just get it over with. That's what they want to do. Cool, fine. Stephanie Valkyrie is ready for the main roster, and preferably I would like her on Raw. Julia ended up where she ended up. No spoilers just yet. Messed up what I had in mind, what I had planned. But Stephanie Valkyrie is made for Raw, and you can do whatever you want with her. You could have a go straight after Io. You could have a clash with Asuka when she come back, clash with Kairi Sane. Whatever you want to do, Stephanie Valkyrie is ready and available, and she needs to be on Raw at the main roster. She's super duper over. Will get the pop. Will get everything she needs. So that's what I would do personally. Let me look at a couple of fellas. Let's send some people back. NXT, Otis, and the characters I would send them back to NXT. Send them back to NXT, bro. Because they go to NXT and actually get some W's. They go to NXT and actually look like a credible tag team in NXT. And you see, I said send them to NXT. I didn't say send Maxine with them. No more Maxine Dupree with them. Let Otis and Akira Tozawa get their stuff off. Stop being so damn goofy on the main roster. They go to NXT and they're actually wreaking havoc. They're actually developing young tag teams. You know what I'm saying? They go against Heck and Tech and maybe they beat Heck and Tech, but then Heck and Tech take the belts right back, making them two-time tag team champions. But then at least you give Akira Tozawa and Otis something, for their hard work, getting beat up by Rusev for no reason at all. Okay, let's see. Oh, what we should have did from the jump. Fraxium should have went to Raw. Raw needs more tag teams. Raw needs more tag teams. They got the Creed brothers, they got the New Day, they got the War Raiders, they got the Judgment Day, I guess. You know what I'm saying? They got New Catch Republic? I don't know. They showed up that they was gone. I don't know what brand they're officially on. You know what I'm saying? Raw, they got LWO, which I'll get to that in a second, but Raw needs new tag team, bro. Fraxium would have benefited great from going to Raw and then have Fraxium take the belts off a New Day eventually. People wouldn't have had an issue with that at all. So I'm just trying to figure out what the issue is. Like, I think Fraxium would have been perfect for Raw, SmackDown. I understand Raw has a lot of talent because of Netflix and stuff like that. Netflix requested certain talents, but Raw desperately needed them to help with the tag team division. And speaking of LWO, boom, where is Cruz and Wild? Go back to NXT. Same situation as Otis and Akira Tozawa. Go back to NXT, bro. People are forgetting who Cruz and Wild are, and they're not trash, bro. They're not trash. They have good in-ring ability, but they're not doing nothing with them. LWO is basically not a thing. Rey Mysterio not there now, so it's even worse. The LWO suffering from the Wyatt Six, where Rey Mysterio or Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy not there, they just don't exist. So send them back to NXT, let them get some runs in. Maybe you could help build out the mud by having them beat up on LWO. Maybe that'll help out the mud out. So that's what I would do with those two individuals in question. And you know what? Raw, I'm helping. I'm getting to SmackDown, but I'm helping Raw out a lot. Just send LA Knight to Raw at this point, bro. Because if you're not going to let LA Knight face John Cena for the championship, and if LA Knight is never going to win the WWE championship, he can win the World Heavyweight Championship. That's the vibe I'm starting to get because this guy either he's going after the United States Championship or he's having feuds with guys that's not going to lead him to the main event. A guy like LA Knight's purpose, in my opinion, would be he wants to be the champion of the world. He wants to be the flashy guy. He wants to have the fights and stuff, but he's going after guys that's not going to elevate him to the main title picture. Just send him to Raw. Yeet versus Yeah will be a great match, and I don't think people will have an issue with it either way. And then the crowd, a home crowd, would love it, and then the home crowd could finally have someone to cheer over Jey Uso, and then people will be like, it might be justified. That's what I would do. Speaking of LWO, though, where is Santos Escobar? And I'm saying send him to NXT. Wait, him and Apollo Crews is hurt. Santos and Apollo Crews are not. I'm not sending them to NXT because they're garbage. I'm sending them to NXT because they can help elevate the main NXT men's division. Miles Bourne was a great surprise, but that's just letting you know they really don't have no one for Open Femi to go against. They're not gonna pull a trigger him going against like a Saquon Sugars right now. Ridge Holland is pretty much no. So you have Apollo Crews return from injury. Hey, I'm Nigerian too. I was the Nigerian ruler before you was ever the ruler in NXT. Boom, that's a rivalry. Santos Escobar come down and he reunites with Cruz and Wild, and he's no longer with Garza and Berto because Andrade took them over. It officially got there from under Santos Escobar nose. Santos' old friends pick him back up. LWO is officially disbanded, and then you have Santos versus Obafemi for the NXT Championship. Another way to help Obafemi build up his pedigree against guys who have some sort of credibility. So Santos Escobar is not a bump. Santos Escobar, NXT Cruiserweight champion, used to be going insane. So there you go. Let's see. Let me throw y'all a bone. Send Dragon Lee to SmackDown. Do a swap. Ray Phoenix to Raw. Give us the Lucha Bros. Like I said, more tag teams for Raw. Give us the Lucha Bros. SmackDown has the Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, Garza and Berto have come into their own. They got DIY, they got Motor City Machine Guns, and they have Fraxian. Give Raw some tag teams that are actually going to do something and be credible and make the tag team division worth watching again. I don't need New Day just prancing around while Alpha Academy getting beat up. I don't need the War Raiders trying their best to figure out a way to get back into the. No, if you're not gonna let the Creed brothers get their shit off, then let this happen. You have Fraxium and the Lucha Bros. People know Lucha Bros are coming, and people are already saying Ray Phoenix is buried. So let's get that out of their minds right now, and let's do Ray Phoenix and Penta. Why not? Because Penta gonna need somebody to go against L Chad Gable, whatever Chad Gable. I'm not about to play with y'all today. All right. Let me do some easy ones. Right. All the champions get to stay where they are. We're not doing the champion. We're not doing champion swaps just yet. I do want to see that eventually. Because I think the World Heavyweight Championship should be a SmackDown belt. Batista really immortalized the World Heavyweight Championship on SmackDown, and I do think the WWE Championship should be a Raw belt. So that's just my opinion, though. But let me just put all the champions where they need to be. I don't want to see any swaps with the champions, in my personal opinion. Let me see. Okay, where is Raquel Rodriguez? Am I blind? Oh, yep, there we go. Okay. Who is the United States Jacob Fatu? Okay. Where's Mr. Cena? Boom. No, he on SmackDown. Look. Almost got me slipping right there, y'all. And let's get the New Day on Raw. Okay. Let's get Street Profits. Where are the Street Profits at, y'all? Boom. And look for a black man. Where's the only other black? The only. Okay. If I miss some champions, I'll throw them in there in a second, right? Okay, let's see where we at. Okay, we could keep Aleister Black on SmackDown. I think that makes logical sense. And we keep Rusev on Raw as the two latest signings. I think those two signings make sense for where they are. I do think Rusev needs to go against a guy like Sheamus, and Rusev versus Jey Uso will help Jey Uso's title reign because going against a monster or going against an actual threat, just like he went against Gunther. And Aleister Black is going to have opportunity on SmackDown. Oh, I know they would never do this, but I think you put Rhea Ripley on SmackDown. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, the Rhea Ripley, Io Sky saga, I'm not looking forward to seeing that. Rhea Ripley doesn't have to go straight after the SmackDown title, but having Rhea Ripley just on SmackDown would be a breath of fresh air. I know Raw probably wants to keep her desperately in TKO, like Rhea Ripley makes the most money on Raw, but I think she needs a change of scenery, a change of everything, and I think Rhea Ripley on SmackDown would definitely be helpful. SmackDown has a good women's division, but I would be giving back to Raw, and I think Charlotte Flair on Raw would actually be helpful. And I'm doing all this as if SummerSlam has passed and we still got the same champions, really. Because doing this right now wouldn't make sense because some people are tied up in storylines. But I think Charlotte Flair on Raw is something that we haven't seen in a minute. And Charlotte Flair versus Io Sky will be a great match. And like I said, Rhea versus Tiffany in the future maybe might be something to worthwhile if Tiffany's still a champion by then. But I think Charlotte Flair could cause some havoc on Raw for sure, whether it be going after Io Sky or maybe you have a Charlotte versus Lyra matchup that no one really expects. And yeah, you keep Lyra on Raw, so she's the women's IC champion. You keep Naomi on SmackDown. I think I want to see Naomi versus Tiffany, and I want to see if something happens with the Jade and Bianca storyline. So I'm keeping all of them on Raw. I mean SmackDown. I know SmackDown looks hella stacked right now, but Raw are no slouches, but they still got Becky Lynch. I'm still keeping Bailey up there. You know what I'm saying? And then we still got Alexa Bliss on SmackDown. I think the women's division is damn near even, if I'm not mistaken. They just signed Julia to SmackDown. I would keep Julia to SmackDown, but Raw also has Roxanne Perez. So I think we going bar for bar, band for band. Because technically Liv and Raquel are on all three brands because they're the SmackDown Women's Champions, but primarily they would still be on Raw because the Judgment Day is still on Raw. But speaking of the Judgment Day, we got to get Finn Balor to SmackDown, baby. We gotta get Finn Balor to SmackDown. The only situation that I'm unsure of is what happens with JD McDonough. Because if Finn Balor's on his own, he's on his own. I think he should be on his own. I don't think you need to stay able to hold him down. I think you keep Carlito on Raw, and you keep a pseudo Judgment Day together. But I do think JD McDonough is too conflicted to stick with the group. But he has no beef with Dom and Carlito and Raquel and Liv, and he still looks up to Finn. So with JD McDonough. I would send him back to NXT as well. He could help elevate the NXT North American Championship scene. JD McDonough is very good. He's on fire. I think JD McDonough will help Ricky Saints elevate to the highest point. I wouldn't keep him down there for long. I would bring him back up and I would put him on SmackDown with Finn Balor. Maybe they get a tag team championship try, but that's something that I would do. Me personally, I know Braun Breaker is hurt. I mean Bronson Reed is hurt. I would keep him on Raw. You keep Braun Breaker on Raw. You keep you keep the Creed brothers and Ivy now on Raw as well, in my opinion. I think that that tag team is doing well. The Dragonoff situation is going to be a weird situation. If he comes back, the Raw roster in the mid ground is kind of crowded. I would actually send him to SmackDown. I know we want to see Gunther versus Dragonoff very soon, and we can still get that because I would actually send Gunther to SmackDown. He's not doing nothing on Raw. He's gonna face Jey Uso again and lose. Enough is enough. He faced Pat McAfee. I don't want to see that garbage. Never again. Let's send Gunther to SmackDown. Go after the WWE Championship. That will be an accolade that he will have sooner rather than later. But he could go to SmackDown and cause some havoc, beat up on the Jimmy Uso. Maybe hey, I didn't forget what happened. Have a clash with Aleister Black. Dragunov on SmackDown as well. Have him clash with Dragunov. Maybe have Gunther clash with Jacob Fatu when Jacob Fatu is a babyface. I think that would be sensational, guys. I genuinely do. Nia Jax is one. If she just lost to Tiffany, right, I would move her to Raw. Io Sky versus Nia Jax would be a banger. Io Sky needs new opponents. A lot of people are like, well, who would Io Sky face as of right now besides Rhea Ripley? Becky Lynch tied up with something, Bailey off TV, blah blah blah. So you need more opponents for Io on Raw to mix it up. I think you send Nia Jax over there. I think you keep Karrion Cross and Scarlett on Raw. And despite what happens, if he wins the Money in the Bank, it doesn't matter. Wherever he chooses to go, he chooses to go. If he wins the Money in the Bank, which I think he will do, keep Cody on SmackDown because I want to see the story unfold with what's going to happen with John Cena. Maybe he wins it back from John Cena to become a two-time WWE champion. Keep Randy Orton on SmackDown as well. We don't want to take away SmackDown's men's division too much. They still need, people to be there. And Randy versus Nick Aldis is something I'm interested in. Keep AJ Styles on Raw. Keep Logan Paul on Raw. Logan Paul, Netflix is a match made. He's a social media guy. Netflix is, a streaming platform. Keep him over there. Maxine and Natalia. I say send them to SmackDown. I mean, even though they'll be challenging for the women's championships regardless, but it's not a lot of legit women's tag teams. And I think if you're gonna just stockpile them on SmackDown, which is what it really seems like they're doing, you send Maxine and Natalia to Raw, but then we do a swap. We do Chelsea Green and secret is it her service? Her secrets, whatever. We send Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, and Alba Fire to Raw. We finally end the whole feud with Zelina Vega and Mia Yim and B-Fab. Send them ladies to Raw. Chelsea Green going after a new prize, whether she wins the Money in the Bank and go after Io Sky Championship, or she go after the Intercontinental Championship, and then you have Alba Fire and Piper Niven in close proximity of Liv and Raquel to challenge for those Raw Women's Championships, and we have a tag team to represent the Raw Women's brand to go after them. Keep B-Fab and Mia Yim on SmackDown, so then we have a number one contenders match with Natty and Maxine versus B-Fab and Michin, Mia Yim. Kiana James, I say you send Kiana James back to NXT. The main roster is too crowded for her right now. She's hurt, obviously, but once she come back, what you gonna do with her realistically? I say, but the only way you send her to NXT is if she wins a title. So that's why I'm hesitant with Kiana James. I say the only way you see her to NXT if she wins a title. But look at the roster right now for the Raw and SmackDown. Not even my fantasy roster, the real roster. Where does Kiana James fit into that picture? Does she come back and beat Lyra? Does she come back and what does she come back and do? Hit people with a pocketbook? So I say send her back to NXT and let her win a belt actually. NXT North American Championship or something. I don't know. Let her do something down there that's of significance and then bring her right back up. Don't keep her down there for too long. Keep her down there for just one run and then bring her right back up. Motor City Machine Guns, I'll keep them on SmackDown. Keep them on SmackDown. Andrade, keep on SmackDown since we just got rid of, oh boy, we got rid of Santos and keep Berto and Garza on SmackDown as well. Where is, okay. Keep Drew on SmackDown, but send Kevin Owens to Raw. Like I said, Raw could use some more talent up there. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Technically, Roman is on SmackDown, but Roman is a grifter. He goes both, so I'll keep him on SmackDown as well. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, break them up. You send one someplace, you keep one someplace. I send Grayson Waller to SmackDown to be in that United States Championship division, and I keep Austin Theory on Raw. He's already been a two-time United States champion. Him going after the IC belt, maybe clicking up with Dominic like they homies, because I know they go to the gym together in real life, clicking up like they homies, and then Austin Theory, you know what I'm saying? You want to keep him heel. He turns on the babyface Dominic Mysterio, and then or Dom is still the heel, but he's showing off. He's showing his muscles in front of Austin. Austin got the real muscles, and Austin becomes the face, blah, blah, blah. Do that. Keep the War Raiders on Raw. JC and Mateo, whatever. On SmackDown, keep Jay on Raw. I say you send Jimmy Uso over to Raw as well. They don't have to necessarily do a lot of things together, but eventually Jay Uso will lose the belt, and I think that they should become the Usos again. And I would love to see Usos versus New Day one more time. So I say send Jimmy over to Raw. Maybe you do have him challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. Maybe he wins it, but I don't see him beating no Jacob Fatu, or if they let Souls Cole beat Jacob Fatu, I don't see them letting that happen. So I would send Jimmy over there and just keep him away from the JC Mateos and Solos and all that. Let's have the internal civil war with Jacob Fatu and Solo. You feel me? Keep Solo on SmackDown. Keep the Tongas on SmackDown as well. Okay. Wesley, bring Wesley up, send him to Raw. Enough is enough. What else can you do with him in NXT, bro? Y'all just throwing him a bone. He's your Ricochet. Let him come up, do the cool stuff. Let him be in the ladder matches. Let him be in elimination chamber matches, but he still loses. Let him be a one or two. Let him be a two-time IC champion. That's his ceiling. But let him do something, bro. Wesley is like a 6-year senior at this point, bro. Bring him up. And with that being said, bring up Trick Williams and put him with Carmelo Hayes. Let's get the barbershop segments back. Let's get them two as a tag team go after the tag team championships. But Trick Williams isn't no sidekick. That treat them as equals, and then have Carmelo Hayes drop the Miz, and the Miz is on SmackDown. That's how you do that. DIY, keep him on SmackDown. Pretty Daily, keep him on SmackDown. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Zoe Stark to SmackDown as well. Raw, she's done. She's done with Raw. She's done with Raw. She's done with Raw. She's done with Raw. But let Zoe Stark come back as the righteous sister Zoe Stark when she's tired of other twerking. She has a feud with Mia Yim because Mia Yim is doing a long back attack and all that type of stuff. Let her do that. And then, that's her heel character. Kairi Sane and Asuka, I will keep them on Raw because I want to see the implosion of Damage Control, even though Damage Control is really kind of officially over. But you should know what I'm saying. Io Sky might still have some backup, but I want to see them turn on her. I like to see Kairi Sane and Asuka as a heel tag team. Keep the Y6 on SmackDown, even though they don't do anything, unless they're all present and accounted for. You know what I'm saying? But keep them all on SmackDown nonetheless, because I do want to see something with Alexa Bliss. Like I said, put the Creed brothers, keep them on Raw. He keeps Candice LeRae on SmackDown. You keep Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown too as well. CM Punk is a tricky one. I would actually like him to move to SmackDown to go after that WWE Championship. So let's do it. CM Punk versus John Cena one-on-one would be great before John Cena retires. I would like to see that. So let's send CM Punk to SmackDown. You don't need to keep feuding with the Seth Rollins of the world and all that. Speaking of which, he's on Raw. Damian Priest, keep him on SmackDown. New Catch Republic, Raw. Raw needs tag teams. R-Truth, I don't, is R-Truth on SmackDown or Raw? SmackDown for now. SmackDown for now. Maybe him and Damian Priest can have some one-off tag team matches. Rey Mysterio, keep him on Raw because he needs to do something with Dominic one more time before he retires. Sami Zayn, I'm gonna keep him on. Actually, let me look at this roster. Hmm. Sami Zayn's a tricky one. I think he's gonna do something with the Seth storyline, so let's keep him on Raw. Keep Sheamus on Raw to go against Rusev, and then Shinsuke Nakamura. He's not doing nothing on SmackDown of significance anyway, so just keep him on SmackDown. So that's my opinion. I think this is the way to save the main roster. This is the way you go with the main roster. I put everyone in position to be successful, I believe. And look, the main roster is a death sentence. I think this is pretty balanced booking with how I just set up the main roster. I can literally see everyone getting some shine and getting some burn. You know what I'm saying? On a month-to-month basis, not a week-to-week basis, obviously, but on a month-to-month basis, the way I set up these rosters, everyone will have an opportunity to do something. So let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for love, support as always. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today. And I'll talk to you guys very soon. I worked hard on this, man, and I'm gonna put the tier list in the comment section below so you can also make your own list and share in my Discord. Peace out.